What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raised.
Stranger Things has been constantly breaking viewership records on Netflix, and on any online streaming platform for that matter. Season 1 had a budget of $6 million per episode, making the entire season worth $48 million. The second season has cost the production studio a whopping $8 million per episode. That totals up to around $72 million for the season. With numbers like these, it's no wonder the show is doing so good. But today, we will be looking at Stranger Things' most expensive scenes to film. So let's dive right in, shall we? Number 6. Creation of the Upside Down World, the Tiny Little Specks. We thought we'd start this list off with a cluster of scenes that we commonly refer to as the Upside Down World in the Stranger Things universe. In order to create this entire world, that's a demonic replica of the actual world. The producers needed to shell out quite a few bucks in order to make it happen. Namely, the studio that's been responsible for the creation of this entire imaginary world is Aaron Sims Creative, and the thing that allowed them to make all of these stunning effects is Nuke Studio. If you don't know who the guys at Aaron Sims Creative are, then we'll just point out that they've done the VFX for movies like Fantastic Four, X-Men, Clash of the Titans, Wrath of the Titans, and most of the other Hollywood classics. In order to create the Upside Down world, they had to use scenes in the studio and then overlay everything with the insane-looking vines. And of course, we can never forget the tunnels. That's the place where our gang got attacked by the Demidogs, but don't forget the Demigorgon, and we'll get to that in a moment. One of the most peculiar things in the entire series are the little specks of dust that are all over the Upside Down world. What you might not have known about them is that they're all fake. Every single one of them is created by VFX artists and then added to the final scenes. They did this because having numerous particles flying around the set was impractical, not to mention that the fear of inhaling some of them. If we consider how much work was put into this, plus the fact that Aaron Sims Creative charges a hefty price for the service, we're looking at a price tag of around $10 million per season. Number 5. Dart turns into the Demidog. All remember the moment Dustin brought this mysterious little frog-like creature to his home. He was part of the Upside Down world, but the kid wanted to keep him as a pet. Dustin put the creature in a small glass cage and then fed him nougat. And how did he get the name? Well, he looked at the wrapper and saw the name D'Artagnan, hence the name Dart. Seemingly cute, Dart later evolved and became one of those vicious Demidogs in Stranger Things, which caused all sorts of trouble. And the creation stage of this fictitious character was no picnic either. Firstly, they had to create all of the 5 stages of evolution, from a frog-like creature into a full-on terrifying Demidog. Then, they had to figure out how the cast would interact with Dart, and thus, they created 3D silicone replicas of the 5 stages on this creature. This made editing a walk in the park, because they knew exactly where to place the special effects. Finally, they didn't want to reveal early on that this creature was actually terrifying, so they smashed that like button if you haven't done so already. But in reality, they integrated a lot of body language movements that made it appear adorable. Integrating emotions on a faceless creature was the hardest part in creating this creature. When you consider that VFX for movies range between $10,000 and $60,000, plus you add the numerous scenes this dog was involved in, and you top that with the process of actually creating the creature, you're easily looking at an animal worth about $500,000 to $1 million. Number 4. The Demigorgon. Season 1 wouldn't have been Season 1 without this guy. He's the strange creature that made us look under the bed at night. And 11 showed it who's boss in the final flight scene between her and the Demigorgon of Season 1. Once again, what seemed easy to film was actually a living hell for the special effects guys at Aaron Sims Creative and the directors as well. They initially wanted to create a monster that had never been seen before, so they invented the Demigorgon. The creature was slim, had grayish skin and long arms with fangs. The most original part of the Demigorgon was the 5 mouth that opened like a 5-petaled rose and had teeth going all around the 5 petals. This made the creature original, yet nightmare-provoking. The numerous scenes that it had during the season, the guy in the costume, the actual cost of the costume, the creation fee, etc., all made the price of the scenes to range between $1 million and $2 million. That's just for one creature. Number 3. Mind Flayer merging. The mind of the entire Upside Down universe of Demigorgons, Demidogs, the Flayed, and many others is the one and only the Mind Flayer. It is the most powerful creature in the entire Stranger Things universe, and it's the source of all evil. We got more than a glimpse of it in the 6th episode of Season 3 of Stranger Things. In these scenes, the creature merged with what seemed to be an entire army of people referred to as the Flayed. Whenever the Flayed were near him, they simply fell into pieces and merged with the gruesome animals that was the Mind Flayer. And to shoot the famous scene in the hospital, the show hired a guy in a red suit that was later going to be replaced in the editing process, and CGI would turn his body into the gruesome Mind Flayer. When you consider how hard it was to put a creature, such as this one, plus all the awful scenes of people decomposing, and add on top of that a person employed to mimic the movement of the Mind Flayer, we would be looking at a scene that took somewhere between $500,000 and $1 million to shoot. Number 2. 11 closing the gate. We all know the ending to Stranger Things Season 2. 11 used the metal elevator to go down to what seemed like the depths of hell, and try to close the gate to the Upside Down world. There, she had to face her fears as well as a shadow of some giant creature, which we assume is the Mind Flayer. She managed to close off the gate, but the special effects guys did more than just edit a few scenes. If you don't already know, the only things that were real in that scene were the cage and 11 and Jim. Everything else was CGI. From the tear in space to the creatures that Jim killed with his shotgun, it was all created on the computer screen. And in order to make this, the studio filmed this scene with the metal cage/elevator suspended from the ceiling, and around it were 3 blue screens on wheels. In between each of those, there were 2 reflectors that beamed light straight into the actors' faces to simulate the effect of the portal. Although the scene was pretty epic and offered a jaw-dropping ending to the 2nd season, according to our estimates, this season must have set the show back anywhere from $1 and $2 million. Number 1. The battle with the Mind Flayer. The epic battle between the Mind Flayer and almost the entire cast of Stranger Things made for one hell of a boss fight. We know that throughout the 3rd season, 11 fought the demon in the house, when its tentacles with fangs attacked the group and almost killed Elle. Next came the battle in the final episode. The entire gang had to battle the giant Mind Flayer at Starcourt Mall. The gang came in to save 11 from the creature, and they started throwing fireworks at him. Disoriented by the lights, the creature smashed all of the surrounding pillars of the mall and then struck with all of its might. The fury of the Mind Flayer took the life of Billy, who sacrificed himself to protect 11. Just as he died, Hopper pushed Grigory into the machine, and then Joyce, with tears in her eyes, triggers the shutdown. The explosion killed everyone in the gate room, including Hopper, so yeah, we know it's an ending we're not likely to forget. But what about the finances behind the entire thing? Well, let's see now. What do we have first? There's the monster. Second, we have the mall and its destruction, the fireworks, the machine, Billy's death that was enhanced with CGI, and a ton of other small things that we're not going to mention. All in all, this scene must have cost a ton of cash to film. We're going to assume it was somewhere in the range of $2 million and $3 million. But what do you think? And on that note, we end this video. But hey, which of these scenes was your favorite? You can tell us in the comment section below. If you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.